I need to clean off that grate. Whatever fell on there is now coming off on cinders every time I move something on it, so I need to fix that. Good morning, lady. How are you? She's gonna be watching me today like a hawk. I don't know why. She was that way yesterday. We were very, very affectionate yesterday. So she still pooped on the floor, but we were very affectionate yesterday. So, good morning. How are you doing? Some sad news, not human sad news, but object sad news. The maca pot died a very horrible death yesterday. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to talk about my own stupidity that much. I want you to realize that it was really dumb what I did. So the maca pot, unfortunately, is done. That one is. Bright side though is once I get enough money together and I can go out and buy a new one, I'm going to go buy that red one because I love the red one. I had that beautiful bright aluminum body on the other one, but that was before I knew that there was a red one. So I really want that red one. But unfortunately, it'll be a couple weeks before I can get a new maca pot. So my own stupidity ruined the maca pot. It was my own stupid fault, and I didn't. I tried to clean it in a way it shouldn't have been cleaned. If that's a hint, there you go. Anyhow, so we're going to use the clever today because at least one of us in this room should be clever, and it is you, Mr. Clever Dripper. I love this thing. There are so many new devices that I've seen now that use this same kind of mechanism. Some of them have switches. You put them on the thing, put them on your glass, and then there's a switch that activates everything, which just seems like an additional point of failure. I mean, with this, it's all gravity and a nice loose base and a decent rubber stopper. So, I mean, this is very simple and very clever. Whereas, you know, the little switch, I think it's a Hario V something. You use a little switch and then it opens up the valve, and it just seems like that's an additional point of failure that I don't really need in my coffee. So anyway, we're going to open up with bacon today. You should open up with bacon every day, to be honest with you. Yesterday evening, I made... Well, actually all day. I did a slow cooker with barbacoa. So I made barbacoa last night. We had a chuck roast. I cut it up into cubes. Let's see, it was apple cider vinegar and beef bouillon, which, by the way, looks way too much like the tar monster that killed Tasha Yar.
So what?
I mean, it smells like... death. So, I mean, it doesn't smell like death. Honestly, it kind of smells like French onion soup. But yeah, so that's the roast beef base, better than bouillon. Anyway, let's see what else. Bay leaves, cumin. Actually, I didn't know we had cumin, so I substituted allspice, which gave it an interesting smell and flavor. I actually thought it tasted amazing, and it did taste amazing. Chilies and adobo sauce that come in a can, salt, pepper, that kind of thing, lime juice, just a bunch of fun aromatics and whatnot in the crock pot, and then you let it sit for 8 hours on low and slow, and then you just pull apart the meat, and it was fantastic. We had these wonderful hard tortillas. Flat tortillas that were crispy, and he made refried beans, and it was the best refried beans I had ever eaten. It was just with vegetable oil and salt and red beans. It was so good. And it was with vegetable oil. You know, normally they either make it with lard, or I think they use bacon fat as well to make refried beans, and that tastes fine. But just the simple, it was like it was a whole onion reduced, garlic well, it was, let's see, it was half of the onion chopped into fourths and put into the pot to boil with the beans. And then he strained the beans out, and then we minced the other half of the onion and added 2 cloves of garlic minced into the vegetable oil, let that reduce, and then we put the beans in and let it basically fry, and then using an emulsion blender. He tried to use like a potato masher, and that really didn't work very well. So he did an emulsion blender, and in the pan, it was so good. I like little bits of bean. I don't like it to be a totally smooth puree, but it just tasted fantastic. So that was really good. It was a really good, it's the first, well, I've made barbacoa before and it tasted great, but it was the first time we'd ever had like elements like that come together, and everything tastes amazing. He bought white Mexican cheese, and then we chopped up some fresh cilantro, and it just, and then we poured a little fresh lime juice on it. Oh my gosh, absolutely cool. It was a great time. It was a great time yesterday. We ate food. Who knew? Who knew food would be so good? That didn't come out of a box dinner, you know. Just put all the ingredients in a thing, let it slow. I mean, you know, we grew up with slow cookers, you know, so slow cooking comes naturally. And it's always just nice to set it and then forget it, and then 8 hours later come back. I mean, that phrase is it's not just a catchy, stupid saying from the 80s and 90s. Set it and forget it is a crock pot staple. You know, the Ron Popeil just capitalized on. I think it was Ron Popeil that did this. Set it and forget it, right? Yeah. Because he had his own line of crock pots. So I think that's what that was for. Almost there. So 7 grams of coffee to 100 milliliters of water. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this up. 7. We're going to do 14. We're going to do 21. And then we're going to do 28 or 29-ish. That's a good number. This smells so good, by the way. We're going to take this. I'm going to give us a medium fine grind. Looks like about a 25 on the grind scale. No, it's a 15. 10, 20, 30. So that's a 15. 25 will be over here. So 15 on the encore. Bravo! Encore! Bellissimo! Grindo! Staccato! Vibrato! All the other O's that are Latin or Italian. I don't know if there's any difference, really. There is a difference. I'm just not sure about it. Okay, so pop this on here. I'd say that sounds like it's done. Yep. Pop this on here and give ourselves a little bit of an even bed. I don't wash out these filter papers because they're natural. I mean, yes, they're naturally growing on a tree. These filter papers are naturally growing on a tree. Workers just climb the tree on a ladder and just pick the filter papers. No, there's no like turning it white. There's no chemical process really in the processing of the paper. So there's really no paper taste to these that I have found. So it's not really ever been a problem. So I've got 28 grams in there. So is that 400? Yes, that's 400 because 21 would be 300. So we're going to do about 400 milliliters of water. I'll start the timer up here. We don't really need a blooming phase because we are just going to build and build and build and build and build. Get ourselves 400 grams of water in here. Which we will do. We'll do it. We're going to do it. Smells so wonderful. Ooh. Yep. Looks good. 400 grams or 400 milliliters of water. I meant to start the timer. I hit the button. So we're going to let that go for about 4 minutes. 4.5, maybe 5, depending on how long I talk. I really don't have much to talk about today. Everything's going pretty well in the area here. We had a terrible storm blow through last night. It was warm and wonderful. I went out and I washed my car yesterday. It was just such a nice day. Overcast and a little windy, which is for me is perfect for washing the car because I pull it to the side of the garage so the wind doesn't really hit me, but the overcast makes it so it doesn't dry as fast. If it's in the sunshine, I get water spots everywhere. So when it's nice and overcast and warm, it's about 63, 64 outside. So it was a wonderful day to wash the car. I got all the salt off of it. I was able to put some nice ceramic on the hood and on the back end. I was able to give it a little bit of a detail on the outside. There were some dark, sticky tar marks in places. So it's about as clean as it will be. And I counted the new. There's like 2 new rock chip spots on the hood from the winter time. So that just comes. It's a 2017. It's got 86,000 miles on it now, and it still runs like a top. It's just the coolest car I have ever owned. And maybe we'll do an extra since it's clean. Maybe we'll just go outside. I'll post something a little later, showing off the car because it's worth looking at. It's worth showing off. I think there's nothing wrong with showing off. We've been told all our lives we should stop showing off, and by golly. And then we turn around and we watch sports where it is nothing but showing off. So we confuse each other a lot. Why are you telling me that I shouldn't show off, and then you turn around and you watch football on Sunday? It doesn't make any sense. It never made any sense. Maple bacon. Smelling good, brewing great. Yeah, the storm came through. It was about 3 o'clock this morning. The thunder and the lightning right outside here in the field, and then the wind pushing the rain right into the front of the house, which was nice because it washed the windows off. So that was really good. But it was just loud, and the water was coming off of the field over here. It was pretty dramatic. The lightning and the thunder, pretty dramatic. And I think we're going to get some more rain today. I don't know if it'll be as severe. It looks like closer to noon, 1, 2 o'clock. We may get more rain, which is fine. I don't care. What I do care about though is that it was 64 yesterday, and temperatures during the day today are going to fall. Your weekly Doppler 10 forecast it calls for rain showers all day and a high of 42, a low of 20. I used to do that for a living at the station where it's always sunny and 95. You just fall right back into it. Because I did it for 10 years. Oh, wow. God, we went through so many weather. I think now it's Doppler 10. It used to be NBC4 weather. We flew between a lot of different TV stations who were willing to give us advertising bucks to say Doppler 10 weather, or NBC4 weather, that kind of a thing. Even had a guy whose last name was Weatherby on. I liked him. He had a very nice, pleasant voice that you wanted to very warm, and that stuff was delivered via the internet. It would come in our email boxes. We had a general Sunny 95 studio email box, and the MP3 for his weather forecast would come that way. In the morning, on the morning show, he would actually join live for like 2 broadcasts, so they could bounce talk back and forth and make it seem like he's always doing a live report. Back then, it was all about the theater of the mind. We're painting a picture because radio is an auditory medium. So you're telling a story and they're seeing the story happen in their head. It's that kind of a thing. It's why video killed the radio star. That's that whole song. That's what that whole song is about. Video killed the radio star. Pictures came and broke your heart. You know, that's that whole thing. Listen to that. Go back and listen to that song. Video killed the radio star. And it'll give a little bit behind the scenes picture of how radio used to be this theater, music used to be this theater of the mind thing that painted a picture. And then, the people hated video back in the day because the videos were the dumbing down of America, because now you're telling them, what to see, rather than, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Anyway, yeah, so that was good times, great oldies. Got a little bit of a swirl. Hello, sweetheart. Look at you foaming up a little bit. To me, it's actually really nice to have this device because it just lets you see the entire process. The coffee leaving the pot, it's straining through the coffee, it going into the vessel. I mean, there's just a lot of things to like about this Clever, and it's just so much fun. I'm glad that I decided to pick one up. It's really great. That was a fairly slow drawdown, pretty good. It was about maybe a minute and a half, 2-minute drawdown, which was awesome. And it gave us a nice large cup of coffee. So 400 milliliters of water to 28 grams of coffee. That seems like a pretty nice ratio to me. And it just smells so good. Ooh, that's pretty warm. But boy, maple hit, amazing. Bacon, nice salty finish to the coffee. Just makes the bacon just pour right through. So tasty, makes the morning so much better. Nice dreary day outside. It's going to get colder and colder and colder. And then we'll see what happens on our leap year day tomorrow. I mean, it's not like I have anything special planned, but it is, it'll be the only coffee that we'll be able to have on the 29th of February for, 4 years? Seems kind of special. Seems special in its own right. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy your cup of coffee. I know I will. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.